You will get the results, and the results are fat loss, muscle preservation, joint skin health, overall well-being. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. Please do not do or attempt to do anything that I talk about in this video. So let's get into it. So what I've learned from being in the peptide community for a while is that if you can break down how peptides in general, how they work in a way to where people can somewhat understand how they can benefit from these peptides, they will be more receptive to the overall longevity and optimization that most peptides offer. That's just my experience with this. And I say that because I'm gonna try to use an example of a supplement that most of us somewhat already understand. Creatine. Creatine by far is the most studied, most effective supplement you can take. Hands down. If you know anything about anything when it comes to nutrition and fitness overall, you will understand that creatine is effective. You get more results from creatine compared to the cost you pay for it, compared to any other supplement. It doesn't matter if it's pre-workouts, fat burners, protein powders, none of those supplements compare to creatine. Creatine is effective and it's cheap. I talk to people every day asking me, what should I take? I'm just getting in the gym. In most cases, they already have a list of things that they want. And usually that list is a pre-workout, a fat burner, a protein powder. It's either one of the three. And each and every time they tell me that list, I say, if you don't have any medical issues or reasons not to, you'll get more bang for your buck from buying creatine and not worrying about pre-workouts, fat burners, or protein powders. Although I could make more money if I did tell them they needed that, but that's not how I operate. So the only reason why I'm bringing up creatine and its effectiveness and how cheap it is compared to the results and benefits you get is because this peptide stack is similar to creatine in terms of the results you get based on how much you are actually paying for it. And this stack is CJC-1295 No DAC plus Ipamorelin. I'm comparing creatine to this stack because I think this peptide stack is probably somewhat of the foundation when it comes to peptides in general. Overall, this stack is about optimization. Very little risk associated with it. Not expensive, but the results are there. This isn't an exogenous source of GH. This isn't something that's gonna cause you any long-term issues if you are running the protocol the right way, and the benefits are there. All this stack do is just increase your natural GH pulse for a longer period of time. And in doing so, it increases your IGF-1, which leads to the benefits that most of us want. So, although I am covering CJC-1295 No DAC with Ipamorelin, I want to be clear that you shouldn't, under no circumstances, take CJC-1295 DAC. The difference between the two, CJC-1295 No DAC is short-acting. If you do run into any issues with this, those issues or sides will go away within an hour or two because it's short-acting. If you take CJC-1295 DAC and there are issues, those issues will last 5 to 7 days. Not only that, our bodies aren't built for our IGF-1 to be constantly elevated. CJC 1295 DAC, it increases your GH. Your GH increases your IGF-1, and increased IGF-1 over an extended period of time will lead to long-term side effects. Organ strain, insulin resistant, joint swelling. It's a few other sides that long-term risk of cancer. So running CJC 1295 DAC, it's convenient, but it's not reasonable to take because our body doesn't operate like that. Our body operates in a way that CJC 1295 No DAC operates. Our GH is a pulse. It doesn't supposed to be consistent. It doesn't supposed to be elevated for 5 to 7 days. And that's what CJC DAC does. So stay away from CJC DAC. I know it sounds enticing. I know it sounds appealing because you only have to administer it once a week. Go with CJC No DAC. CJC No DAC is how we are built and how we operate. Now, as far as the doses associated with this stack, CJC 1295 No DAC, that's 100 micrograms. Ipamorelin is 200 micrograms. Those are the doses for this stack. You can run this stack in this order as far as what's important and what's least important. Before bed, when you wake up, midday. In my opinion, you should run this stack at least twice a day. At least. If you can do 3, that's absolutely great. If you can't, totally understandable. I mentioned this in my GH peptide explain video as far as should you fast or should you not when you're running GH-based peptides. In my opinion, I stated it in that video as well, in my opinion, you are doing all of this to make yourself better, to optimize you. Fast if you can. 2 or 3 hours before administration, 2 and 3 hours after administration. But don't drive yourself crazy in order to do that. If you are consistently hitting 3 times a day, the benefits will be there. This stack is probably the best stack, peptide stack, especially best GH-based peptide stack you can run. And when I say best GH-based, speaking in terms of affordability, because there are other stacks that's better than this stack, but the results you get from this stack compared to what you pay, you can't compare it to anything else. And this is somewhat of a foundational stack. You will get the results, and the results are fat loss, muscle preservation, joint skin health, overall well-being. So these results won't be something that you will see as impactful, but over time, you definitely will notice something different with you on this stack. The results are there if you are running it the way that you should run it. So I think I covered everything associated with CJC 1295 No DAC and Ipamorelin. I'm gonna do a quick recap. So if you do decide to run this stack, 100 micrograms CJC 1295 No DAC, 200 micrograms Ipamorelin, at least 2 to 3 times per day, before bed, when you wake up, midday. If you have any issues with dosing this or reconstituting your peptides, I do have a sheet in my bio. Under the description is a link to where you can get all the information you need as far as the amount of back water you need to reconstitute this and how much volume you need to draw to get the doses that I described in this video. So remember, CJC 1295 DAC, stay away from it. The long-term health risk associated with keeping your GH at an elevated state over an extended period of time aren't worth it. Joint swelling, organ strain, bloating, water retention, higher long-term risk of cancer. Those are all the side effects associated with running CJC 1295 DAC. The goal of this stack is a controlled GH pulse. That's it. Not an extended pulse, 24/7 blasting. That's not what you want. That's not what you need. It will come with adverse side effects. More isn't always better. That's all I got. I hope this video helped. Please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll check you guys later. Thanks.